Good day, Ma'am Biore. My name is ANNIELOU PENECITOS and I'm going to present the assignment number 2, which is about supply and demand. Supply refers to the total amount of a specific goods or service that producers are willing and able to offer to the market at various price levels over a certain period. It is driven by factors such as production cost, technological advancement, and the availability of resources. The supply curve, which typically slopes upward, illustrates that as prices increases, producers are generally willing to supply more of a good or service because higher prices can cover the higher cost of production and potentially increase profits. Demand refers to the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to purchase at various price levels over a specific period. Demand is influenced by factors such as consumer preferences, income levels, the price of related goods or substitutes and a complement, and future expectations. The demand curve typically slopes downward, indicating that as the price of a good decreases, the quantity demanded by consumers increases because the product becomes more affordable. For the law of demand, other things are equal. When the price of a good rises, the quantity demanded of a good falls. When the price falls, the quantity demanded rises. For the law of supply, other things equal. When the price of a good rises, the quantity supplied of the good rises. When the price falls, the quantity supplied falls. Example of demand and supply curve. Imagine a local farmer's market selling apples. The demand and supply of apples are influenced by their price. Demand curve. This curve shows the relationship between the price of apples and the quantity demanded by consumers. For example, if apples are priced at 2 pesos per pound, $2, consumers might demand 100 pounds. If the price drops to $1 per pound, the quantity demanded might increase to 150 pounds. For the supply curve, this curve illustrates the relationship between the price of apples and the quantity supplied by farmers. So if apples are priced at $2 per pound, farmers might supply 120 pounds. If the price rises to $3 per pound, the supply might increase to 180 pounds because higher prices incentive farmers to produce more. These curves intersect at the equilibrium point, where the quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied. Example of demand and supply schedule. A demand and supply schedule lists the different quantities demanded and supplied at various price levels. In this example, at the price of $2 per pound, the quantity demanded is 120 pounds, and the quantity supplied is also 120 pounds, representing the market equilibrium. Next are the factors affecting supply. First is production cost. The cost of inputs like labor, raw materials, and energy directly impacts the supply. If production costs increase, it becomes more expensive to produce goods, leading suppliers to reduce the quantity they offer at the same price. Conversely, lower production costs can lead to an increase in supply. Second is technology. Advances in technology can make production more efficient, allowing producers to supply more at the same or lower prices. For example, automation in manufacturing can increase output while reducing cost. Third is government policies. Taxes, subsidies, and regulations can significantly influence supply. Higher taxes or stricter regulation can reduce supply by increasing production cost. On the other hand, subsidies can encourage producers to supply more by lowering cost. Fourth is number of suppliers. The more producers there are in the market, the greater the supply of a production. If new businesses enter the market, supply increases. Conversely, if companies leave the market, supply decreases. Fifth is expect Fifth is expectations of future prices. If suppliers expect prices to rise in the future, they might reduce current supply to sell more later at higher prices. If they expect prices to fall, they might increase current supply to sell as much as possible as the current higher prices. Next is factors affecting demand. First is income levels. As consumer income increases, people generally demand more goods and services because they have more purchasing power. Conversely, if income levels falls, demand for many goods and services decreases. Second is consumer preferences. Changes in taste, preferences, and trends can greatly impact demand. For example, if a particular product becomes trendy or popular, demand for it will rise. Conversely, if consumers lose interest, demand will fall. Prices of related goods. The demand for a product can be affected by the price of related goods, such as substitutes and complements. If the price of a substitute like tea for coffee falls, demand for the original product, coffee, may decrease. Conversely, if the price of a complement like sugar for coffee rises, demand for the original product, coffee, may also decrease. Fourth is expectations of future prices. If consumers expect prices to rise in the future, they may buy more now, increasing current demand. If they expect prices to fall, they may hold off on purchases, reducing current demand. Fifth is population and demographics. An increase in population typically leads to higher demand for goods and services because more people need products. Demographic changes, such as aging populations, can also affect demand for specific types of products like healthcare or retirement-related services. Instances when supply shifts. Supply shifts to the right or increase in supply. First instance is technological improvement. So if a new technology allows producers to manufacture goods more efficiently, the supply of those goods will increase. For example, the introduction of automated machinery in a factory can increase production output, shifting the supply curve to the right. Second instance is reduction in production cost. If the cost of raw materials or labor decreases, producers can supply more at the same time. For example, if the price of crude oil drops, gasoline producers can afford to supply more, shifting the supply curve to the right. Lastly, instances when demand shifts. First instance is demand shift to the right, or it will increase in demand. First instance is increase in consumer income. When consumers have more disposable income, they are likely to spend more, increasing demand for various goods and services. For example, an economic boom that raises wages might increase demand for luxury items, shifting the demand curve to the right. Another instance is change in consumer preferences. If a product becomes more popular due to trends or advertising, demand for it will rise. For example, if a new health trend boasts the popularity of avocados, demand for them will increase, shifting the demand curve to the right.